Well, I know it's been a while. Excuse my voice. I'll explain why. My voice is a little off today. It's been a while. There's not really anything that's been developing positively, or there's not been any progress going on with anything since the last update, unfortunately. Usual things. Uh, but things just haven't been able to get back on track with Killshot. There was a couple things. It just the scheduling stuff. Life got a little, I don't know, just life happens, you know. So, uh, I'm trying to get back on top of things. But I've got some more scheduling stuff coming up. It's gonna be a little. I just have to wait out. Have to wait till it passes. Which showing me about maybe 2 weeks. But my voice. I this past weekend I went to Wizard World Chicago Comic Con and walked around for a good several hours and had some good long conversations, and that's why my voice is a little hoarced out. So it's much better than it was last night. But I had a great time at the place. There was some good. I made some contacts, but I mean, just on the whole, it was a very fun experience. It was a lot better than C2E2. I didn't get any per se celebrity autographs or anything, but I saw a couple notable people around. I saw Lou Ferrigno, the 1980s Incredible Hulk. Dean Cain, who was actually seated right next to him in the autographs area. He was, because I have this series on DVD. He was Superman in the 90s on television. I love the show. I got the whole series. I picked it up on DVD a while ago for super cheap. I saw him. I saw Bruce Campbell. I was about 20 feet away from standing. I was about 20 feet away from Bruce Campbell as he was signing autographs. I meant to get into his Q&A, but I got caught up in another conversation, and I was late, and by that time, the whole room was at capacity. They couldn't let anyone else in, so I didn't get in, but a friend of mine, actually Laura, from Dead of Night and Killshot and everything, she is a very big Bruce Campbell fan. She got into it, so maybe I'll hear about it at some later time, but she's a pretty big Bruce Campbell fan. She's had her picture taken with him. But Bruce looks sharp, looks suave, he looked fantastic. He's a guy who goes all out for the fans. He's all about them. And it was nice to just be able to see him 20 feet away. It felt like it felt energetic, it felt cool. And saw a couple wrestlers, Kevin Nash. I was about maybe less than 10 feet away from him. I was a couple steps away from him. He was doing autographs and photo ops and everything, and he looked great. He was in NWO colors. The New World Order. I'm an old wrestling fan and everything from the 80s and 90s, so seeing Nash was kind of cool, and had a couple other people there. But the big things that I came out of it with, the contacts I made. Well, on the smaller note is that I reconnected with an old friend from high school who stayed local, who stayed in the same town as me and everything. But he's become a comic book artist. He's got his own comic strip in the local newspaper. He's got his own published works, kind of self-published. And he's also a musician, has his own rock band and everything. His name's Dan Doherty. Like I said, he used to live right down the street from me. And we were friends for a couple years in school and everything. And he looks great. He looks really great. We talked for a little bit. Traded off business cards and everything to keep in contact. Don't know what's been going on with me since high school. That's 98. That's 14 years ago. So we haven't conversed since then. So it was a nice catch up and everything, because he apparently helps at the local comic book store, and I saw flyers a couple months ago about his works and everything, that he's been publishing stuff, and he was doing a signing a couple months ago. So I kind of got caught up with him, and it was nice. I gave him a free copy. Once I find it here. Oh, here it is. I gave him a free copy of the Dead of Night Special Edition DVD. I brought a couple copies along, just like I might run into a couple people. It might be good to just kind of give away some good copies of this thing, just to just stir up something. one person could lead who knows how many people, you know. I mean, one friend passes along to another or something, you know. But it's great catching up with Dan. Real good. He looks really good, and he's doing really good. And the other one, which was the really big thing, you know, is kind of like the big motivation factor for me to go to this thing, which might seem odd to someone else, but I'm a real big fan of his, and that is Brad Jones of thecinemasnob.com. I've been watching his stuff on his site for a couple months now. He does some comedy stuff, some internet critic stuff, but he's also an independent filmmaker who's made some very good films that I like. I mean, in terms of technical quality, some of the earlier stuff's not all that great, but I can really see the quality that he had as a screenwriter, as a director, or even especially as an actor. And I probably spent half the time with him. I was there for like 7 hours or so, and it was just great hanging out with the guy. I mean, the guy made me feel like a buddy. It made me feel like a friend. You know, the guy is just so easy to get along with, and so appreciative of everyone that came around to spend time at the booth and everything. So that was great, and it's even better because he had some DVDs of his on sale, and I picked them up. I had a nice flow of cash that came around lately from a web design job. Came around just in time for me to drop some cash at the event. And well, on the last update I mentioned Brad's film Paranoia. I was trying to watch the writer's cut. He wrote the thing but didn't direct it. But I was talking about the writer's cut that he had online last time I did the update, and I bought the DVD at the show, and I didn't actually watch the film. I watched the comic. Well, because last time I talked that the video online had a little problem. I couldn't get to see the end of the thing, so I watched the end of the movie, oddly, and so I got to know the end of it. Then I watched it with commentary on everything, and it was very good. It's very good, very nicely put together DVD, and picked up a couple other things he had. There was a con exclusive DVD for his site, the Cinema Snob. A couple exclusive episodes, commentaries on a bunch of stuff, just kind of the best of his content and everything on a nice little DVD. It was very good. I watched everything on it last night. It was very nicely put together. And then there's another. What Brad is, he loves exploitation films. He loves a lot of kind of B-grade films as well as all other types of films. But on his show Cinema Snob, which is a riff show, it's him playing kind of a spoof of movie critics and everything. So he spotlights a lot of films. They're usually Z-grade exploitation stuff that Brad himself likes, but as his character, it's real kind of satire and everything of the critics and everything. But some of the stuff he's spotlighted is kind of like old 80s ninja exploitation type of stuff, action exploitation that were done in Japan and everything, and it's a lot easier to explain on the content on this DVD. But him and the award-winning Egg Glazer from Dark Mage Studios have a online web series called Ninja the Mission Force, which is very funny. What the show is basically, back in the 80s, there was a bunch of, I guess, Hong Kong or whatever it was, filmmakers who had all these sort of incompleted other films that they decided to take and shoot additional footage for, but to add like ninja action scenes and B-plots to them and whatnot that involved ninjas that kind of weird, oddly tied into the main story of the existing footage and everything. So they decided to kind of like do kind of an homage of sorts, a real lighthearted homage of doing that sort of thing. So they took a bunch of like public domain films and kind of put a new, they've shot their own footage about this whole ninja empire, evil empire type of thing, and Ed's character is kind of like that righteous ninja who has to combat them as a member of Interpol and stuff. It's very, very fun stuff. I mean, you can go to ninjathemissionforce.com and you can watch all the episodes for free, but they just released the DVD of the whole thing, and just like this looked like such a great fun thing that I really want to grab hold of it and really promote and support what they're doing with the show. The the show actually got a Telly Award for comedy, and it's very well done. Ed Glazer is a guy who looks like he's a very smart guy, but also very he's got a very good head on his shoulders. He does this very, very professional product. I envy what he does. He's a very seems to be a very resourceful guy who's got a lot of good ideas and a lot of a good sense of humor and everything. So it looks like Brad's hooked up with a really good guy with him. Brad's hooked up with a lot of really good filmmakers and everything. But Ninja the Mission Force out now. You can go to ninjathemissionforce.com and check that out. But it's a very funny show. It's very funny. But the big thing is Brad signed all 3 of these. He put autographs on all 3 of these. No money. They're completely free autographs. Everyone else at the con, it wasn't like an official guest. They're charging like $40 an autograph, and who knows what else for anything else. Brad signs everything for free. He signed everything for everyone, period. And it was just fantastic, and it was an amazing time hanging out with him, just talking everything, just chatting up things left and right. He enjoyed my company. I enjoyed his. I mean, by the end of the thing, we were like buddies and everything. So it was fantastic hanging out with him. And I also gave him a free copy of the Dead of Night Special Edition DVD, and a couple other things. I gave him my business card, and I told him all about the films I make, the films I'm trying to make, and most of the story, and as much as I could. But hopefully I've made a real positive, good contact with Brad on whatever level, just a guy who's just like, this is a cool guy. I like what he's doing. We have a lot of similar tastes in what we're doing. I told him a lot about The Fixer, about how Brad's a big guy about 80s music and 80s noir stuff like Michael Mann, or more sleazy stuff like To Live and Die in L.A. or Vice Squad or Savage Streets, stuff like that. He really likes that kind of stuff, and Miami Vice stuff. So I think I talked to him about The Fixer a little bit, about montage sequences and kind of 80s synth type of vibes and whatnot. I think he was really interested in it, and since he's got the DVD Dead of Night, he's got the trailers, I think when he has the time, he'll check it out, I'm sure. There's nothing disingenuous about the man. He's completely the easiest guy to get along with, and he's completely deeply appreciative of everyone that came around, and he's a fan of his, and I hope I can be as awesome as he is, and things get a little bit bigger for me if they do. But it was a great time. It was a great time hanging out. I'm still sore today. My voice is still as it is here, but it's getting better. It's getting better. And yeah, all these DVDs I got from Brad, they were great, and I've watched at least some of, if not all of, this content. And so yeah, getting back to a little bit more RavensFilm stuff. Let's think. HEMI, the Chosen the Ones Live in the Fire live album, is just about ready to go. They got the final artwork. We're just got to get it all assembled into a full package ready to send off to a manufacturer. But we're pretty much certain it's going to be out to manufacturing by the end of August, and that's pretty good. That's exciting. It's been too many months, about 5 months. We're trying to get this thing out there. So we got all the artwork figured out. We got it finalized. We just got to get it all to a package and sent out and get it paid for. Trent's going to take care of all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be a limited run of about 100 discs, I think, CDs, and there'll be a widespread digital release that will be available first, and then the physical stuff will come later. And I'll be trying to work on a live music video for Battle of Britain, their big kind of epic closer track and everything. So I've been working on one like that. It's just straight. There's no kind of like, it's not like the Fire in the Sky one where there's like movie clips, whatnot. It's just gonna be all live footage of the band, and that's gonna be it. So it's gonna be It would have been out a couple months ago, but we kind of decided to hold off to see if we could try get around to shooting some other bigger shows, get some bigger venues, but it just hasn't come around that way. The band's been working on so much new material and everything, and the summer didn't come up to much in terms of live shows. The one live show they did have, I wasn't up for it. I waited all the way till as late as I could that day to feel if I was up to driving out to the city and shooting the thing. I was just too tired that day. Not to discount the Live Wire, it's a good place. We've come to love the place, but it was just like, we've shot like 4 shows there. If it was like another Double Door and Epic Club, or if they were going to reschedule that, they had a show that they were going to play several months ago at a new venue. It would have been their debut, but it would have been something like that. I don't know. I might have tried to do something different, but as it was, I wouldn't have been anywhere near 100% for that. But they're getting some other stuff put together. It's going to be a little weird next next month or two, because the guitarist Ryan Kramar, he's going to be getting married soon, so that also means it might honeymoon. So it's going to be a couple weeks of blacked out schedule and not even practice or anything. It's just not going to be able to do anything. So Trent contacted a venue or whatnot, or a promoter, or maybe an October show or something, just so they can get something going. Just see if they can maybe get a release party put together or something. I suggested Reggie's if they want to do like a release party thing. A bigger venue than Liveware, but not so big that it's going to be kind of complicated or anything. So, but we'll see. That's all Trent's wheeling and dealing stuff. But so yeah, Chosen One's Live in the Fire album should be coming around maybe in a month or so. We're right here. Like I said, tracks have been done for months. Everything's ready to go. We just got to put it all in a package and send it out and pay for it. That's it. So, close as we've been. Fixer stuff, because Ryan's the guy who's working on that track that we need to replace In the Air Tonight for. Since he's got this stuff coming up, I can't say what progress is going to be made on the song. I'd hoped everything would be coming together in August. It doesn't seem likely. He sent me a kind of a rough version of what he was doing with the song TikTok, because we have the first half of the song. The song as it was is perfect for the first half of the montage, but then I also need reflecting In the Air Tonight, a big crescendo mode. They kind of like, because in the montage sequence is the prelude to the big climax of the film, where all the emotions are supercharged and all that kind of stuff. So there's an explosion of violence and stuff. So it goes from this very dark, somber place, and then it has to transition. It's just much more motivated, much more driving motivation. So it needs that transition in the music to drive the rest of the film forward to the climax. So what Ryan sent me of what he got, he didn't have any drums laid down for it yet. Just had the guitar, the basic guitar part of it, and it's like, it wasn't so much what I was looking for. What he sent me felt like if you put drums behind this, it's gonna feel much too metal. It's gonna feel very, very, very heavy. It's gonna feel very. It's not gonna be what I felt I needed to have. It just didn't have the right vibe for me. So I don't know. I'm sure Ryan's got plenty of things he's got to deal with leading up to that wedding. And so then you start getting into the end of the year stuff, the holiday season, the Novembers and the December stuff, and everyone just gets so wrapped up in other things, family affairs, and all the mess just comes with that. So that's me thinking over the rest of the year, which I tend to do quite a lot, just like the string of the chain reaction of events, Because when I look back on things, like, well, this thing moved, I delayed on this thing, and that turned into this thing, and that this happened, and that happened. So I know how that stuff can just really get delayed so far out, so as it is, unknown when Fixer will be ready for release. There are other ideas. I'm not going to say anything about them. They're just a manifestation that came up in my head a day or so ago. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to deal with it until I have something that I feel confident about that I'm ready to go ahead with. But things are what they are right now. The kill shot stuff, like I said, going to try to get around, back up, going with it. But lately, it's just been more just kind of writing things out. And been seeing movies. The last couple movies I've seen, the summer movie season has not been all that great. If you go to my, again, Forever Cinematic blog, where I write all my in-depth movie reviews, I like Prometheus. I liked Amazing Spider-Man. Avengers was, I felt Avengers was okay. It was good in a sort of mindless, turn off your brain action movie type of thing, popcorn movie thing. But I thought there was a lot more that they could have done with the film that could have made it better in my estimation when compared to the better comic book movies like The Crow or Batman Begins, or I know I mentioned a whole lot more in the review and whatnot, but like Blade or what have you, or even the other Marvel Studios films, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. They just had a lot more substance to the characters and the plot. It just felt like they were a bit more thought out. There was a little bit more depth in the emotions and everything. But it was okay. It wasn't as jazzed by as everyone else was. I didn't like Dark Knight Rises. I'm not gonna get into it. I didn't write a review for it because there were certain things about the film that really sparked a negative nerve. I just didn't want to delve into that kind of well of hate or anything. I just didn't want to dwell on that stuff, so I just let it go, and I actually wrote reviews of the two Tim Burton Batman movies, which I kind of really like Batman Returns a lot now. But I saw the Total Recall remake, take it or leave it. Bourne Legacy, boring ass fucking movie. I saw it Friday afternoon, and just like, I was bored out of my skull watching this movie. I really was. It was just so boring, so overloaded with exposition that just doesn't amount to anything. There's barely any action in the movie. I mean, it's maybe 10% of a 135-minute movie. There's about, it actually takes something about 10% of the runtime, and it's not really all that interesting. The movie just didn't do anything for me. But aside from Dark Knight Rises, I wrote reviews of all these movies. You can check them out on the blog. I'm actually gearing up for the 1-year anniversary of the blog, just trying to maybe write some reviews of my favorite stuff like Star Wars, or a couple like Manhunter, a couple Michael Mann things, or a couple other things. Just show my fandom of certain things. Then October, I'm actually going to celebrate my old horror movie website, Forever Horror, by doing Forever Horror Month. I'm trying to build up a backlog of horror movie reviews, just kind of polish up some of my old reviews from the website, and then write some new ones, so like I can maybe post one new review every single day to just kind of bolster that Halloween horror movie feeling, that vibe, and just bring it alive, just kind of rekindle it in me, just maybe check out some films I haven't seen before, because I don't tend to check out anything else really, and I think this would be a good chance to really jump back out there and just, not even stuff that's just brand new, just stuff that I haven't seen before. Because for a reason, I just bought some new stuff, because I was going to do a whole week of vampire movie reviews, and so I picked up a couple of Dracula stuff. There's the 1979 film with Frank Langella as Dracula, and he is amazing in this movie. His Dracula is very seductive. It's very sensual. It's very much that romantic, that very sexualized type of thing. I'm a heterosexual male, but I'm just saying the guy does a stunning job in this film. Just stunning. And Laurence Olivier is Professor Van Helsing, and even Donald Pleasence is in this movie. All three of these guys do an exceptional job. I really highly recommend this film. Then I was checking out trailers online and everything on iTunes, and decided to buy a set of Christopher Lee Dracula movies. It's like, you gotta have some Christopher Lee Dracula, man. I mean, Christopher Lee could make a movie good. Maybe not, like, I might not like the Star Wars prequels too much, but you guys the Christopher Lee in there, I can enjoy those scenes real well. And of course, Lord of the Rings, Saruman. That's fucking awesome, man. But getting some classic Christopher Lee Dracula movies, oh yeah, I gotta check this stuff out, man. Definitely gotta check this stuff out. But I'm checking out a couple. Seeing what else is out there. Actually sucks now because there used to be like a dozen video stores in the area, video rental stores. Now there's one, and they still rent out freaking VHS tapes. I don't know how they still survive and whatnot. They don't have all that great of a selection. But it sucks now because I can't just go browsing through the horror section of the local video rental store and just see all the cool cover art and all that stuff. Just like, what seems interesting now? I remember doing that back in the VHS area, and just like, the cover art was just so awesome. You just walk over there, it's like, even if the film didn't seem like it was anything interesting, it just like, the cover art was just like, awesome. Nowadays it's all Photoshop crap and whatnot, so. But yeah. So I mean, if you're interested in catching up on what I've been watching and what I think about certain things, and I review all kinds of movies, all different genres from all different years and everything. So I mean, you can just go in there. I reviewed Drive, the Ryan Gosling movie, because I hadn't seen that before the last review, last video update. So I saw that movie. I love the hell out of that movie. I mean, that is like a movie. It's as if Michael Mann had made a film between Manhunter and Thief, or Thief and Manhunter. Right? Like if Michael Mann had made a movie right about the time Miami Vice started up, it probably would have been like Drive. I mean, it's got that kind of soundtrack. It's got that kind of vibe. It just got that very much like a Michael Mann Manhunter type of thing, or even Collateral or something like that. It just feels like that, but it just feels. I mean, it's set in contemporary times, modern times, but it has such an 80s vibe to it. Just a fantastic movie. I wrote a review of that, and I just love it. The soundtrack is, God, amazing. I listen to it a couple times a week. I mean, just, I mean, that's what The Fixer should be. That's the type of thing that inspired The Fixer. I'm not saying The Fixer is anything as good as Drive. The Drive is it's a pretty awesome flick. Pretty awesome film, but that's the type of film that I wanted to make with The Fixer in a way. Just that kind of vibe, that kind of mood, that kind of soundtrack, that kind of style. I love it, and I'd love to see more films like that today. I mean, I think it's just a lost style of filmmaking that still, that's still effective, that could still work. And I've seen a lot of people that really love the film. Brad Jones loves the film, and another guy I follow on YouTube, the Flick Pick, John Flickster. He loves it. He actually has the jacket, the Ryan Gosling wears in the film, which costs quite a lot of money, but they're still making it. I think until January of next year, so you can track that down somewhere. But this has gone on quite a long time, hasn't it? Well, it's been enjoyable lately. It's been, even if things have been developing for RavensFilm Productions, I've had things going on that have been a creative outlet, and I've been updating my personal website a little bit, just trying to get it updated from when I relaunched it a couple months ago. So trying to get into more just updating that a little bit, and but in any case, that's what's going on. So we got Fixer still in limbo. kill shot when it comes along, as always. I hate that kill shot has been like this. I really do. It's been, I mean, it's one of those things that kind of developed out of control for me in terms of the script writing. It just, the longer it went on, the more ideas I kept coming up with to improve the story, which made it more complicated, required more actors and all that kind of stuff, and more scripts and more episodes. So it's kind of in a hole, dug my own hole with this stuff. But the positive thing is that Nick Deach is actually back in town for a couple months, so hopefully I can put things together and get a good amount of what he's got left to shoot done, and not have to worry about that. But there's still a lot of shit to do. But I just gotta focus on a little bit at a time. It's the only way it's gonna get done. If I try to think of the whole thing at one time, I'm just gonna topple over and keel over or something, you know. Only think of it that big when you're not that big. When you don't have the resources, you don't have the money. You just gotta do a little bit at a time and make progress how you can. So don't overload yourself. Just handle what you can handle at any given time. And this has been a long video, hasn't it? So I think I should cut it off here and stop threatening to ramble on any further. But it was a good weekend. It was a good day. It felt very good. And I mean, I was there for in excess of 7 hours. It didn't feel like 7 hours. And I guess that means I had a good time. So still sore, still going with the voice here, but it was good. It was fun. I wish I could have gotten a little bit more done. I meant to hit up a Q&A with James Marsters, who you might know as Spike from Angel and Buffy and a few other things here and there. But there's traffic on the highway, and by the time I got into the facility, it was too late. It was already past, so that's what I get for being late. But I was almost on time, and still construction on the highway fucked me over. But oh well. There's always another con at another time. So what I did get around to, I had fun doing, and it was an enjoyable time, and I think it's the closest thing I can get to a vacation, and it's good to enjoy these things when they come around. So hopefully that'll motivate me forward to do some more stuff, and whatever it is, you know where to find me, everywhere you can find me, and I hope you do continue to follow me and all that stuff. But I'm rambling on now, so I'm going to cut this off. And again, thank you for following RavensFilm Productions, and I hope I have some payoff for you for all your long dedication or even short-term dedication to following me and watching these droning videos. But hopefully I can add some interest to you. I hope you find some of these things cool and interesting and whatnot, or whatever. So I'll let you get back to your lives. Later.